villagers, happy special Thursday. I wanted to do something a little bit different for you today. Wanted to do a short and sweet and quick video for you, something a little bit different. I was actually thinking about sin, and I was thinking about how sin can become something really, really big. And the way sin is, I don't know how many of you know, but remember the old school, they're like little tomatoes, and on the tomatoes they have like little needles on it, and the needles have like these little tiny, tiny dots, and they're different colors. My mom used to sew when I was a little girl, so she always had like this little tomato, and sometimes she would wear it on her wrist, and it would have all these little needles, and she would use that to put the fabric together so she could sew. And when it comes to sin, sin is like that little tiny dot. It's actually smaller than that dot that's on the tip of that needle. And the way it works is it deposits a little tiny dot in our whole body. So let's think about it. Our body is like this big, and then you have this little speck of dot that was deposited inside of you. And over time, that dot continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And before you know it, sin has taken over. Something that I personally do not do is I do not watch today's 2020 hip hop, or I very seldom even listen to the music. The reason why I choose not to listen to the music or watch most of the 2020 hip hop videos is because I feel like there's underlining messages, there's underlining sin that it's encouraging us to do things that are contrary to the word of God. So I just wanted to remind you and myself to be very mindful of that little tiny dot, that thing that says, oh, well, it's just one time, or, oh, well, you know, it's really not that bad. And let me just take a taste, or let me just take a piece. Let me just take just a little tiny piece, and, you know, it's really not that bad. And it starts out really, 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 really small, but then it plants a seed, and that seed takes root. And before you know it, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And then you have to fight more resistance. So can you overcome it? Yeah, you can overcome it. Most likely you will overcome it, but it makes it harder and harder and harder. And depending on the size of that needle, the dot on the needle will determine how you're able to overcome it. So I personally prefer to not even play with it. I prefer to not even put the dot inside. Don't deposit the dot. Don't take the chance, because the word teaches us that we're supposed to run from anything that even appears. Anything that appears to be sin, we're supposed to run from it. So I don't play with it. I kind of live a very simple life now. Very seldom watch TV, very seldom listen to music. And it's not because I'm trying to be on like this big high horse or anything. I just see a lot of the messages that are in it. There's so many messages that are inside of the music, that's inside of the TV shows, that are in the commercials, that are in the colors, the symbols, the tones. There's so many little messages. And the little messages make deposits. And then the more deposits you have, the bigger it becomes. So my whole outlook on it is like, why even mess with it? Why even play with it? Just leave it alone. So I just wanted us to be more mindful of those little tiny dots that we let into our life. Be blessed, be encouraged. Know that God still sits on the throne. God is able. God is a deliverer. God is a healer. And God provides a place of safety and protection. So wanted to do something a little bit different this morning. Just wanted to share my heart. I know there's so much going on in this world. So it's important that we stay rooted and grounded in the word, and that we do not feed into fear. So I will see you next time on the Wendy Inspired channel. Make it a great day. Bye.